sorry ass DJ.
Hi everybody, if you're new to my channel, I am Lori and you're watching the Chatty Bookworm. If you are new, let's do this first, and even if you're not new, we'll still do this first. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing and hit that bell icon so you'll know whenever a video is up for your viewing pleasure. Okay, I'm going to talk about, since next month is LGBTQ+ month, Pride month, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite books and show you some books that I want to try to read. There's a lot here, you guys, so grab a snack or something, because it's going to be a long video. Yeah. I didn't grab everything, because you guys know what I'm going to talk about first for my favorite books. Onley James, any of her books. You guys know how much I love her books. That's a given. If you watch my channel, that's all I ever watched this month. Spoiler alert if you haven't heard, but this month I reread a whole bunch of them again. But that's nothing new, because I reread them basically every month. Like next month, I'm planning on reading the last two in the Necessary Evils again. Necessary Evils, let me grab if I can find it. Starts with Unhinged. And this is this guy Thomas. He wants to take like people that are psychopaths when they're little, or that he thinks will be psychopaths when they're little. He wants to take them when they're little, and raise them as his own, and raise them as killers. And this first one is Adam and Noah's. Adam, it's not a spoiler, he killed Noah's dad when Noah was young. Well, he was young too. I think he was like 16? I'm trying to remember. Around 16? I know he was a teen. And Noah was like, I'm not sure how old Noah was. I can't remember anymore. But yeah, and Noah saw him. And yeah. And he comes to find out that his dad was a molester. And yeah, that's why Adam killed him. And it's their love story. Oh, so good, you guys. Like, I know I'm not explaining it the best, but if you want psychopath killers, but as good guys, you'll love this series. It's so much fun. I will say that it's very, like, right away, you know, like, the guys are already like, you're mine, no one else is, you know, that type of thing. And the other guys are like, okay. Not all of them are as accepting of it at first as the other ones are. But it's so good. Like Adam and Noah, yummy, yummy. Let me see if I can find a good quote, one of their quotes. Let me find a good one. Let me find something real quick. I'm trying to find the one with the family. But I don't know what page it's on. I should have wrote that down, like what page the family one was on. I like when, I know some people don't like it, but I love when when they do like texts to each other. Like Adam, he sent him a thing, says, I miss your face. And then Noah says, I get off in 3 hours. Adam said, with any luck, we'll both get off tonight. Send me a picture. Noah says, I'm not camera ready, Adam. You're always hot. He goes, then he goes, I can't stop thinking about all the things I want to do to you. Noah's face grew warm. Don't you dare start dirty talking to me when I'm on a break that ends in 10 minutes. Adam, buzzkill. I just love like their little like dymatics in here. I wish I could find the page with the... Oh, I like this one too. He says, Noah says, I'm off in 10 minutes. Could you try to drive a less conspicuous car to pick me up? People are going to think I'm banging a drug deal and try to roll me in the alley. And then Adam's thinking, the idea of Noah getting beat up caused a strange feeling to fill his chest. I will disembowel anybody who so much as messes up your hair. Noah pretend to swoon. Who said romance is dead? I just love these guys. I wish I could find the one with the when he talks about like how he will burn down the family for Noah. I mean, bring everything down for Noah. Like, I just love like Adam. Here's a quote I like. So what conspiracy are you trying to beautiful mind your way through? I don't know why I like that one, but I do. Okay, this is a good summary of what Thomas is talking about. Adam was worse, a bad guy who did bad things to bad people for good reason. The scale of good and evil would never tip up back in the right direction for him. He didn't just kill people who enjoyed it. I mean, didn't just kill people, he enjoyed it and that wasn't even going to change. The world needed people like him and his brothers. His father called them a necessary evil. So, I like this one. Mutually assured destruction was the glue that held their fucked up little family together. So, there's just so many like cool parts in here. Like, you're a supermodel. What exactly do you intend to ace? Tyra Smirkin, Smerzin. How do you say that word? 101. August gave Atticus a smug look. What? Kendra Light, American's next top model. I know some things. They're just like, this just family is just funny too. So, yeah, they're very intense. So this one I definitely would recommend. Because all of them are like, if they hurt you, if anybody were to hurt you, I would kill them. I'd burn the world down for you. That type of a book. You get that. Another one of hers is the Elite Protection Services. I can't remember how many are in this one. So far, we have 5 in the Necessary Evil that are out. In this one, there's 4, I believe. I can't remember names, so don't ask me. But this one is Lincoln and Wyatt's. And this one's more like a protection type service. Hence why you get the Elite Protection Services. And Noah's dad wants somebody to watch him during the election because Noah's very, not Noah, Wyatt, sorry. I was still thinking about that one. Wyatt is very destructive, so just be prepared for that. He's very, like, screwed up because of his dad. His dad's an asshole. Like, really an asshole. And he keeps trying to kill himself and cut it. So be aware of cutting, because he does cut himself a lot in this book. Or talks about cutting himself, and he tries to commit suicide. It ain't a spoiler, because it happens right away. When he's driving. He's very, like, what you call it, too. So be prepared about that, too. He's very, into, like he does drugs, alcohol, like a lot of stuff like that. So just be prepared about that. And then we grab the other one. Her other theory, she has some other ones, but we're not going to talk about all of them. You can look her up if you're curious about the rest, but these are the three series that I recommend. And then this is the spinoff to Elite Protection Services, which is Time Served. This is Nicholas Webster and Cyrus's book. You meet, why do I keep forgetting his name? I just said it. You meet Nicholas in the Elite Protection Services. And he gets framed for something, and he gets put in jail, and they're like stepbrothers, but not real. You know, like they're not related. You know what I mean? His Webster's mom married Cyrus's dad. It's not a spoiler. Cyrus gets framed for killing his dad, and it was really not Wyatt, Webster's mom that did it. And he got put away, and they're hoping that Cyrus will kill Nicholas while he's in prison, and it's their romance while they're in prison. So it's very like dark, yeah. So be prepared. Okay, let's talk about some of the other books. This is going to be long because we're already like 12 minutes in. Now these are some of my favorite books. I'm not really going to talk about them because a lot of these you guys are going to know. Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda. I love this book so much. I'm not going to explain anything. I'm just going to tell you that I loved it because we'll be here all day. This one is a Christmassy one. It's Mel. It's a Jack Frost retelling. Oh my gosh, this was so cool. I love this book. I ate it up. Like, I want to read it already, and it ain't even near Christmas, and I want to reread it. I just, was enthralled from this book from the very beginning. This guy, when he was younger, he got lost, and Jack found him, and he's a writer, and he's having problems writing, so he goes back to where he met Jack, and because he thinks it was all in his head, that it wasn't real. So he goes back, hoping that it will give him, inspiration. And then he meets Jack, and it's their romance. Winter's Orbit. I haven't even told you the names. This one's Jacqueline Osborne. And this one, of course, is Becky Abatel. Yeah. Becky Abatel. How do you say her last name? This one is Evelyn Maxwell. Like I said, I don't remember names. So, Prince Kiam, he has to marry Count Jayan, how do you say it? Because Count Jayan, his husband was murdered, and for political reasons, he has to stay married, and like I said, the prince has to wind up marrying him. And it's them trying to find out, why they think that Jayan killed his husband, because that's what they're thinking. People are thinking. I know I'm, totally butchering this, but I got this recommendation from Bethany, from Beautiful Bookish Bethany. She talked about this and loved it so much, and so you could probably scroll through her video, her feed, and she talks about this. She did a review for it, so if I can find that review, I will put it down below. Otherwise, maybe you guys can look for it. I'm sure it would be on her Goodreads page otherwise. So, yeah. Of course, I gotta say my favorite Mel romance of all times. We just gotta put it here. Red, White, and Royal Blue. You got other rep in here too, but the main rep is Mel, Alex, and Henry, and they cannot stand each other. Something happens, and he has to go to where, what is it? England? Was it England? I always forget. But he has to go there to play nice with Henry, and they become friends first and then lovers. And we got the first female president in here, and so much more goes down. This is like my favorite book. I love this part. Alex followed him to the door, watching him turn to Hoover there awkwardly. Well, Henry attempts looking down at his feet. Alex rolls his eyes. For F's sake, man, you just had my D-I-C-K in your mouth. You can kiss me goodnight. I don't know if I could get what you call for that, so I'm not going to say the actual word. Henry is one talented bee, a man of many hidden gifts. Alex mused, half hysterical. A true prodigy. God save the Queen. I love this. Like, oh my gosh, their scenes are so hot. In one frantic motion, Alex knocked the candelabra, however you say that word, off the table next to them and pushed Henry onto it so he's sitting with his back against. Alex looked up and almost breaks into a deranged laughter. A portrait of Alexander Hamilton. Henry's legs fell open widely, and Alex crowns up between them, watching Henry's head back into another searing kiss, or retching Henry's head back in another searing kiss. There's more than that, but yeah. I like when Henry says, Henry fumbles with his shirt tail, eyes wide, and starts humming, God Save the Queen, under his breath. What are you doing? Christ, I'm trying to make it. He gestured ineloquently at the front of his pants. Go away. This book just cracks me up. How dare Henry come into Alex's house looking like the goddamn James Bond offspring that he is. Drank red wine with the Prime Minister and act like he didn't slip Alec the tongue and ghost him for a month. Oh boy. You know what else is cool? There's this turkey scene at the beginning, like towards, alright, yeah, turkey scene. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. He says, how do you get a turkey to gobble? Try gobbling. There's more to it, but I don't want to ruin it in case if you guys haven't read it and you plan on reading it, because oh my gosh, that is so funny. Then we got History is All You Left Me. We're going to do this video in 2 parts, okay? That way it's not so long. I'm going to do this part where I'm going to talk about my favorites, and then I'll do a part 2, and we'll talk about the books I want to try to read. I didn't pull them all because some are down here. But yeah. You guys would have saw in my video for the one that the summer one, can't think of the name of it, but Mel from, I forget her channel, but Mel, Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me, and Clint from Reed's Reader, I think that's what his channel's name is, that they're doing, and I'm on Clint's team, but that, you would see what I was planning on reading, and some of them are LGBTQ+, so. Okay, so History is All You Left Me by Adam Severa. So sad. Now, this one I haven't read in so long, so I'm definitely going to be rereading this during the readathon. I mean, not readathon, but during the month, during June. I can't remember names because it's been a while. When Griffin's first love and ex-boyfriend Theo dies drowned in an accident, his universe explodes. Okay, he died. They broke up, but they were still talking, and Theo had already moved on and had a boyfriend before he died, and it's them, like, the ex and the new guy bonding over his death. But there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, this is a book, is so sad, but so good. Like, I cried a lot in this book. This is like one of my first LGBTQ+ books I read. Oh my gosh, so good. Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. This one, oh my gosh. I cried so bad, you guys. Like, I could not catch my breath. I was crying so bad. That's how this book affected me. I was like, I couldn't catch my breath for like 20 minutes. And the last, like, probably hour, I cried and cried and cried constantly. I think that's why I couldn't catch my breath, because I was crying so bad. But this is about, like I said, I'm stuck at remembering names. Wallace, who dies, and he is allowed, what is it, like a week or a month? I can't remember how long, to get his affairs in order before he has to leave. There's a tea shop. There's an owner, Hugo, and it's their love story, but also him, like, getting, like, his redemption, because he's not a nice guy at the beginning of this book. Like, not a nice guy at all, you guys. Like, ugh. Like, you want to pop him at the beginning of this book. But, oh my gosh. His journey. Like, I just loved his journey so much. And I just, like, bawled towards the end, how everything was resolved. Oh my gosh, so good. Like, tears. I know this one is a controversial one. If you guys want to know more, then please go look, because I'm not good at, like, explaining, like controversies and things like that. Like, I know I'll say wrong words and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, this one is very controversial. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, of course. There's been, talk about, like, it being problematic, like I said, but I don't know, like, how to explain it, but I still thought this book was really good at the time that I read it. And like I said, I don't know, like, exactly, like, all of what's going on. So if you guys know, then maybe you guys can find a video that will help me understand it better. But I just know it has something to do with, like, an orphanage or something. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong. But I just know that, like, it has something to do with the children and how this was written, I guess. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm bad at, like, explaining things. So you guys can find a video about that somewhere, I'm sure. But I still, like, this one is so hard to, like, it's still, like, a favorite for me. But like I said, but you got to go, like, for people that that you would have to accept, that that would be the ones that would have to accept, like, the apology, whatever you want to, see how bad I am at explaining things. I know what I'm thinking about when it's in my head, but as soon as I try to talk to people about it, then it's like, it leaves my brain. So just, like, look up The House in the Cerulean Sea, and you will find out all what's going down. So I will cautiously recommend this one to read. But at the time, I really loved it. This is about, it's been a while. Linus, he is sent to this school because he's a caseworker, and he's assigned to go to this school and see if this guy that is doing a good job of taking care of the children that's in his orphanage, I guess. And it's just them fall in love, and you get to meet the children. And there's what is his name? There's this one boy that is supposed to be like Satan or Satan's son or something like that. There's like different, like just different type of different types of characters that you meet. I just loved it. Like, I thought it was a very magical story. I mean, there's no magic in here, but you know what I mean. It felt magical. So, but definitely, like, go, if you want to know more, go and, look that up. So that book, I'm still going to recommend, but just, like, go and look up everything to make sure that you do want to read it. I read both of these books. The other one's up there, so I'm not going to grab it. But The Extraordinaries and Flashfire by T.J. Klune. This one is superhero type of book. There's Seth and... why do I always forget the main guy's name? Nick. Why do I forget? Seth and Nick. Nick is the main character. He has a thing for his friend Seth. Oh my gosh. But he also has a thing for the hero guy, which I can't think of what his name is off the top of my brain. But he wants to be an extraordinary. And it's him, this first book is him trying to become extraordinary. The extraordinaries are the ones that have the powers. And Nick, there is there's health, what you call it here? He has ADHD. So there is that in there. So that representation in there, I guess that's done good. I don't know anything about, none of my children have ADHD. So I just say that right? ADHD? Yeah, ADHD. None of my kids have that, so I wouldn't know, if that's good rep in here, but, so, I think it's good rep, but, like I said, I can't, say that really, but to me it felt like it was, how your brain would work if you had ADHD. I said, you guys, I'm not, an expert, so I could be totally wrong, so, look that up for people that do have ADHD and see if they mentioned it. Because, yeah. But I just love their story. The third one comes out in July. I'm so excited. Both of these so far have been 6 stars. I got a lot of T.J. Klune on here. One more. Wolf Song. This is the only one I've read so far. This is Ox and Joe's story. They're shifters, of course, because Joe does shift. Whatever you want to say, he's a werewolf. And it's their love story. Ox is a lot older than Joe. They don't do anything until Joe's of age. And so much goes down in this book. Oh my gosh. So much sad stuff happens, but so much awesome stuff happens. Something happened to Joe when he was young, so he didn't talk until he meets Ox, and then he can't quit talking because he's so infatuated with and so into Ox. This book, oh my gosh, but like I said, it's sad. So sad, but it's so good. And I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. I got book 2 and 3 on my TBR for next month. In the camp video like I said, console, the readathon that I'm doing, that Clint is one of the hosts of. Mel is from Completely Melanie, by the way. I know I forgot it at the beginning, but yeah. But yeah, this one, oh my gosh. So good, oh my gosh. Joe and Ox, oh my gosh. They both go through so much before they finally get their HEA. You know they're going to be HEA, of course. Yeah. So good. Then we got the Absolute Absolution. It's the first book in the Protectors series by Sloane Kennedy. There's a whole bunch of these. I think she has like 12 or 13 books. I don't have them all yet. I did read them all, but I read them when on ebook the first time. But I'm slowly buying the books and rereading them. I did reread this. Did I reread it this year? I think I reread it this year, but I could be totally wrong. This one is with Jonas and and Cole and Mace. This is a Mel. Each of them follow different characters. I would say, even though I didn't do it this way, you should definitely read them in order. I didn't, and I don't regret not doing it, but I still think I would have liked them more if I would have read them in order. But this one is so good. I don't want to spoil anything, and this is already over 30 minutes, so just look it up. But each of them have something dark that happened in their past. And there's Rowan. He ain't in this one, but he's the main guy of all of them. He's the one that they the boss. And his book is the second one, which I can't reach because it's up there and it's behind stuff. But yeah, this is a second book. But yeah, so you don't have to wait too long for him. How sometimes in books, if it's he's the main, he's the boss, then they usually their stories are towards the last ones, but you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, this one was really good. I love this one. I thought the Mel was really good, because sometimes I'll read Mel, and I don't think that one of the parties get as much attention as the other one in the other one in the threesome, whatever you want to say. One of her other books, I didn't like it, because that's how I felt. I felt like the one guy was just there for the all the angst that happened, everything that happened in one of the books happened to that one character, and it was the other character that didn't go through as much that got more of the love, I felt, and more of the attention. I felt like the other guy should have got more attention. Or, not more attention, but, just as much attention. In the other books when you see them, because you do, see the characters as it goes on. I feel like later on, he gets a little bit more attention, but at the beginning, his story, I was like, okay, what did you do? You just brought him on as the, just to be hurt, I just didn't like that in that one book. Great, I'm going to get eyeshadow all over the place. Okay, 2 more. We have Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. I just love this cover. This one, he gets outed. His dead name, is that what it's called? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And he thinks he knows who is the one that that outed that told his dead name, or outed the dead. I don't know how you would term it, but yeah. And he wants to get revenge, but it's also him falling in love, and yeah. I'm not good at explaining stuff, but it's so good. It's really, really good. Look at this, you guys. I put a lot of tabs in here. If I didn't like it wouldn't have a lot of tabs. Oh my gosh. Let's find a quote. Let's see what we got here, because it's been a while since I read this. I might reread this as well next month. Because if I do, I'm going to retab it, though, because, yeah. But just know that he does F up a little bit in this book. Felix does F up in this book, so be prepared for that. Okay, it says his, okay. I'm trying to make sure I am using the right pronouns. If I used any of the wrong pronouns, let me know down below, because I am not good at remembering pronouns. I can look at it 1 minute and then the next minute it's out of my head. But that's just because I don't, one side of my brain, this is real about me, one side of my brain takes longer to catch up with the other part of my brain, you know, like the other side of my brain, whatever you want to say, because I was a preemie when I was little, and that's what the doctor said, that a lot of, that one side just is not as, doesn't work as good, doesn't compute as good. So it takes a while for things to like really get into my head and stay there. And some things just never click. So that's why I need like if I say anything wrong or something like that, I like somebody to correct me because of that. Like I don't try to, I'm not doing it to like be mean or something like that. It's just how my brain is. So yeah. But enough of that. We don't need to go into my whole life's history. This is already 40 minutes. We got, the last one is, so This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. This one is so good. It's a magical one. I don't know how to explain it. There's another one that I liked actually even more. What was the other one? This one was a 4.5, so it wasn't a favorite of all times, but I still would recommend it. The other one was a favorite. I actually should have grabbed that one. In Deeper Waters, I should have grabbed, but I don't think it's close to me. But In Deeper Waters is my favorite out of the two. But this one is still really good. This is, I'm trying to make sure I got the right one. Prophecy. You know, it's one of those prophecy ones, a chosen one. And if he doesn't fall in love, but before he's 18, or by the time he's 18, then he'll die. And he has feelings for his best friend. And he's hoping that his best friend is the love of his life. So, yeah. It's more than that. There's a lot more that goes on, but this is good. This is good, but I should have grabbed the other one. Oh my gosh. Just said In Deeper Waters, which is a pirate one, kind of like a piratey one. So yeah, coming out. It's his coming out party, and he gets kidnapped. No, he gets kidnapped, but first they find this other guy, and he's on their ship. He jumps overboard, and they think he died. And then the one guy winds up getting kidnapped, and the other guy is the only one that is probably able to save him from the kidnappers. It's more than that. It's so good. I wish I would have remembered to grab it to show you guys, but I might do that in part 2. I might grab it and then show it to you guys real quick, because I do plan on rereading that next month, so I'll grab it and I will show it to you. All right, that is it. I'm sorry this is so long, and we're going to do another part, so stay tuned for part 2, where I'm going to show you some of the books that I want to read next month. I know I'm not going to get to all these because there's a lot, but we're going to talk about them. So like I said, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, all that other stuff I said at the beginning of the video. And you guys know the drill. DNF is your friend. DNF, DNF, DNF. It's better than getting into a reading slump. Put it down. If you think that it might just be a mood and you might like it later, put it down and go back to it. Or if you think it's just not for you, get rid of it. Don't stress yourself out. There's plenty of books in this world that you're going to love, that you're going to be able to read and, just enjoy. So, yes, think about that. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this long video. If you guys will, let me know some of your favorite LGBTQ+ books. If some of them aren't mentioned in this video, let me know. And And the same for when this other pile comes. If you guys, when you guys see this, you guys can let me know what you guys think I should, you know, which books I should prioritize. All right, that is it, because this is over 40 minutes. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being awesome. And I will talk to you guys in a little bit with the next video. Bye.
I dare you to fix me.